can see more people joining in. Let's give them a minute. In the meantime, if one of you can let me know on the chat window if I'm audible enough, if you have any kind of disturbance, please feel free to let me know on the chat window. I really appreciate even if one of you can highlight about the audio quality. Okay, give me a second. Okay, let me know. Hope it's better. In case you don't find my audio quality very well, I would highly recommend you to use the phone audio. You look on the top, there are two options, computer and phone. Please use the phone audio to, sign in for the audio, better audio quality. I highly recommend that. I can share the local phone number with the meeting code. Just take you a minute. Sign in for the audio. I highly recommend switching to phone audio for the ones who have trouble hearing me. I think it's okay at my end. Please do let me know. Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much. Mary, thank you so much for confirming. Okay, let's quickly jump in. I have a hard stop today at 3 p.m., but there's another webinar that we're hosting. I thought I will make sure that we kickstart right at 2 p.m. As it's a 1 hour of professionalism CPD credits. I will be sharing the attendance link, topic information. I will open the floor for questions towards the last 5-6 minutes. But in the meantime, any of you have any questions, start entering it as we progress so that I can try and include it during the seminar. As you all can see, the topic for today's session is Law Office Expense Management. It is a combination of both managing both client expense and your office expense. Your client expense meaning disbursements, and office expense or business expense. We're going to be talking about how to manage them, how to go about recording these expenses into your books of accounts, reporting them into various types. So you have them listed out under the subledgers showing each and every item. Bear with these beep noises. Sorry about that. We have more folks joining in. Let's give them a minute as they settle in. Let's just go over the agenda. With expense management, we discuss both disbursements and office expenses, which covers most of your withdrawals. Like, definitely, we're also going to talk about paying yourself, drawings, which is that, other withdrawals in specific. We are also going to understand the difference between both. How do we go about using the respective bank accounts? How do you recover them? How do you report them? What are these types of general disbursements? Like, what could it be? Billable, actuals, profit motive. How do we go about recording them, reporting them, invoicing them to the client appropriately? There's a separate webinar on the topic disbursements. It's called as Disbursements Demystified. I'm sure it'll be in one of our upcoming sessions. But the expense management is a combination of both. I would not go too much in detail about disbursements management here, but I will make sure that I walk you through enough information to reporting your expenses appropriately. Also to understand definitely what are the expectations from Law Society. May it be a simple banking fee to a disbursement on your photocopy, to travel expense, to a court filing fee, whatever it is, what are Law Society's expectations? What do they want from you? What do they want from your client? How do you uh, kind of report them and make sure that you have all the expenses intact in your books of account. That's what the second point is about. And third point, definitely managing your business expenses. Many of us this get to track disbursements was made on behalf of the client, and sometimes we also track all the trust disbursements in general on behalf of the client. What we miss out on is to record those auto debits, those pre-authorized debits rather, direct debits, whatever I could say, and those corporate expenses, taxes, whatnot. So sometimes it's the rush that we are in, and also from my understanding that basically reconciling trust and, is the top priority, and adding your disbursements for the sake of billing out the clients, absolutely one of our top priorities, obviously only then we get paid. But sometimes it's so natural that we miss out on recording these office expenses. But I'll tell you what are the benefits. That's what we're going to talk about in the point number 3. Now, what are the benefits of recording an office expense? Why record an office expense? You, number one, are able to see what are your expenses for the month, now where do you stand in terms of profit, in terms of your monthly, quarterly, weekly. Sometimes too, people have habit of recording their expense and income and see where they stand, basically check health of the firm every now and then. There's something beyond it is people miss out on the fact that you record your expenses when, let's say, you're registered for respective taxes, HST, GST, PST, GST on PST, whatever. Now, these absolutely work on tax credits. So when you receive taxes on the legal fee and you pay taxes on your expenses and disbursements, this, when being recorded into the books of accounts, obviously gets into the respective ledgers and showcases itself as an input tax credit, and hence showing you a clear picture on what you owe to the government. There's nothing much, nothing more that you need to do, but just simply add in all your expenses as you progress on a daily basis. I would say one of the biggest boon that, and I would even say proud to share that uLaw has Bank Connect feature, especially focusing on recording your withdrawals being said. Could be an expense, could be a disbursement, could be a drawings, could be a bank transfer to make the credit card payment, anything that's been withdrawn from your general account, easily recorded using a Bank Connect feature. We'll be touching upon that when I'm in the software, but it's my personal favorite. If 30 people here are not using that feature, if you're a uLaw user, if you're here today and you're not using that feature, I would strongly recommend you to go turn on that feature, start using it, reach out to support for help, and discuss how efficiently you can record your expenses. Saves time, more accurate, and gets into the proper ledgers, sub-ledgers, whatnot. All that you're required to do is go over that screen for a minute, take a look at everything there that we have prompted from the Bank Connect feature that we imported, and just say yes. And everything is it. So we will come to the later part in a bit. Like I said, I want to focus the first 20 minutes on the presentation, showcasing as much as possible about both disbursements and office expenses. But if I'm boring at any time, feel free to use the chat window and let me know. Oh, G3, move on. Let's get into uLaw and see the rest. So then I have to walk you all through all those terminologies, but please bear with me. Let's look at uLaw in a bit. Now, talking about disbursements. As you all know, disbursements vary from each type of practice to the size of firm to whether they have disbursements that are being taken out of trust, out of general, that meaning business credit card or, you know, your personal, which is owner's pocket, whatever. End of the day, whichever is the method of payment that you've used, disbursement is paid on behalf of your client. Well, if you have used it out of trust, great. You don't have to worry about paying back yourself. But again, there are only a few things or a few of expenses that you can make out of trust. The rest made from general. Disbursements made out of general are basically claimed for by either transferring the money that's lying in the trust to general, then pay yourself, pay the credit card, either it's a business credit card or your personal credit card, depending upon whichever was the method of payment, you would have to pay. Disbursement, of course, is an expense incurred on behalf of your client. So you will have to record it under the invoice that you claim from your client as a recovery of expense. So many times people have this question when they see their revenue report. There's a field that says recovery of expense. There will be many fields, there will be many line items that would say a revenue from real estate, revenue from bills and estate, revenue from family, revenue from, depending upon your area of practices, right? And one line item would say recovery of expense. I'm definitely going to showcase you when I'm doing it in the program. Is it an income? It's called as recovery of expense. It's not definitely treated as an income. It comes under your revenue as recovery of expense. That's why there's a separate line item, and you don't have to panic saying if you're paying taxes on top of that. No, when it goes under your balance sheet, it will be looking as, again, recovery of expense and not as a separate line item of income. So don't be afraid to record it under your books of accounts. Raise an invoice to make sure that your client pays you and that gets reported into your books as well. So you need to making sure that you're able to record these disbursements irrespective of the nature of item, irrespective of how you spent it. It still has to be recorded through the books, whether it's paid from trust or whether it's paid from general cash or other accounts, and manage your taxes. Once you get that in, it's easier for you to be able to recover from your client, whether as trust transfer, if there's money sitting in the trust account, you can always bill out the client, use the trust money to pay yourself into the general account, or obviously get the money paid into the general. What happens if you don't track? Basically, like I already mentioned, you're not having an accurate taxes. You don't know what you have paid for, how much to recover, how much of it is a profit margin, how much of it has to be calculated as your respective taxes from the provinces. Now, there's so much of confusion if you are not able to drop down a disbursement in your books. So I always recommend my clients to work. Now you follow your bank. Let's say you have made a disbursement from trust. Great. You're just going to say record a disbursement out of trust directly, obviously, because your trust has money and it is not a profit nature. It's something neutral. It's something actual rather, where you are paying a court fee or a filing fee or any of that sort. Then all that you have to do is record as if paid out of trust. Then the trust balance comes down, but it is definitely simpler when it comes to the accounting part, as you're not paying out of your pocket to reimburse yourself. Now record when the disbursement was paid and how it was paid and what was the reason with the client's name under the respective matter, and decide how much of that amount is going to be charged to your client, whether you're going to mark up, mark down. Now, don't laugh at me when I say mark down. There are people who commit to, charging only so much of a disbursement, but they sometimes land up with getting charged more. So they in turn mark down the disbursement. But mostly I've seen people only mark up or the same, which is actual. So decide what portion you're going to charge them, send them the invoice, get paid for the invoice, then pay yourself, or which is obviously sending them a pre-bill, then a final bill, recover the expense, and then record it into the books of account. Nothing like that, but definitely keeping it from trust is straightforward, simple, hassle-free. Again, only there is to make sure there's no profit-oriented expenses going out of trust. Um, and of course, only certain types of expenses can be made from trust. Let's say, something of nature like photocopies, admin charges, mandated from general, not allowed from trust. That being said, even if it's actual, so even if you've actually incurred some admin and bank charges, we would highly recommend you to do it out of general, not the trust. So any court fee, any other kind of fee, government fee, it's definitely easier paid from trust, which is out of the retainer that you've collected. And later then, we also have, don't have to recover any expenses. It's all your money that's sitting in trust, which can be used as an expense to cover these disbursement charges, obviously reducing your bookkeeping requirement. You don't have to go about writing checks from general, then pay from custody general, then pay yourself or pay the credit card. It's definitely going to reduce the amount of bookkeeping requirement over here. So paying from general or business credit card or own pocket, it is definitely a little bit more lengthier process. It's not that difficult. If you have uLaw, any software that helps you to record these disbursements along with the invoiced amount for legal fee, you just add in the disbursement paid out of general, add in the date, add in the respective amount, method of payment, descriptions, ensure that you are recording it under the respective client matter, and then how did you pay for it, whether using your credit card or personal pocket or general bank account, and then enter the reference number, then you save it. Boom. All that you're going to do now is invoice, get paid, and pay yourself. Obviously, because you would have used one type of the general account. If it's a bank, general account, no worries. Obviously, general account belongs to the business, so it's business money, so you don't mind paying yourself. But if it's, again, similarly, business credit card, you don't mind paying yourself. There's no further step. But if it's an out-of-pocket expense, which is called as owner's pocket, then there's another additional step of paying yourself. You do another bank transfer. Instead of just trust transfer, you will pay from general to your personal account to pay yourself. The recovery of disbursements also is based out of invoicing. Many times we miss out the fact that we have to update the client about a disbursement. We would incur the disbursement and then later on bring it to the client's notice. But it's important that the expense, as soon as you incur in your very next invoice, you will have to ensure that you raise it along with your either the legal fee, or you can sometimes just raise only disbursement invoice, record the amount, expense information, everything. Then send it out to your client, get paid or transfer trust to the general, then pay yourself if it's used paying personal method. Very similar to what we discussed earlier. Understanding the types of disbursements, like I said, I'm going to keep very brief here and move on to office expenses next. But types of disbursements are very simple. You have billable, you have unit rates, which is for mostly photocopies that I've seen. You have mileages for gas, if I'm not wrong, and then travel time for people who are using, their personal vehicle to travel. Sometimes um, Uber charges, they come under the billables, even though they are level and vehicle, obviously, because you are paying someone else. It's not your own vehicle, not your own time that you. So depends. So it totally depends on whichever option that you're opting for. And whatever it is, actuals can be done from both trust and general, but that is only on billable, that is on outsourced consultancy, that is on recovery of any other expenses, but not for unit rate and mileages and travel time. These are strictly only general, and anything with profit margin, again, only general. That being said, what happens after recording these expenses or disbursement? It is a one-time data entry, but it is multi-point touch for generating these these compliance documents that mean a world, because you can understand various things from these disbursement journals, fee book, expense book, receipt journal, more. Right. So journals are more drilled down version of ledgers. It's just that ledgers carry both type of activities, which is inward, outward, which is both receipts and disbursements, whereas a journal is specific to its nature, whether it's a receipt journal or a disbursement journal, showcasing only one type of activity. What I really like about disbursement journal is even the smallest of the information gets showed in there, whether it's particulars or the method of payment or the reference number or the taxes. Everything gets captured appropriately, and it looks so elegant when you put it on the report. Your accountants wants to see it, or your bookkeepers wants to prepare it. Anything, but it looks more due diligent, and when your auditors look at it, it's complete. So I always tell my people, my clients, when they are putting any sort of information into the program, try to keep it precise, but at the same time, make sure that you are completing. You don't leave it incomplete, because let's say you can still close an entry without reference number. You can still close an entry without entering received from. You can still submit rather an entry without adding all of these fields. Let's say you don't add the proper method of payment. Then you can still generate a report. You can still submit an expense, but it wouldn't be complete. It wouldn't be exactly matching with that of your financials. Now, your books don't match with your financial institution report. In order to have matching, it is important that you take a minute to complete those boxes that we from. It's like, if you are saying give us receipt from details, you need to give us receipt from details, because it would be nice to have a completed report than an incomplete report. So think about it. Maybe next time when you're on it, you will find it more easier to understand. Yeah, this will be under the playlist webinars. I can share the link in a bit, but it will be available under the recording will be kind of uploaded on Sunday night or Monday. And once it's done, it'll be under webinars playlist. They're different playlists when you go on uLaw, its YouTube channel. one of the playlists for all our past webinar recordings, and you'll find it under that. Oops. Okay. Hope everyone's able to hear me. Let's give them the information. In the meantime, if any of you have any questions, please do feel free to enter it on the chat window. No, no. I don't think LSO, SPC, LSA, that reason operates that they, I think at least LSO says you need to send the webinar to avail the credits. I think it's slightly different for LSE, even if they view the recordings. I'm not unfortunately aware of it. If you can email us on info@superfluidsoftware.com, I can check this at our end and revert to you on the email. Webinar if you go on the playlist. Please switching into business software expenses in detail. I said every office has its own type of office expenses. Some might have home office, some might have rented office where they have to pay their monthly rents, their utilities, their membership fees, depending upon their firm size, the salary, other bills, replacements, marketing, promotions, fees, bank fees, whatnot. The list is never ending, right? Always tell someone when they open, when they're a new entrepreneur, when they're opening a firm, and one of the reasons that they want to have a software right away is to manage their expenses. Managing your expenses is also important as you're managing your trust, your income, because you are managing your HST, GST, PST respectively, taxes basically, and you're ensuring that you can work on claiming your appropriately from day one, whether it's your HST or whether it's your corporate taxes. It's really important that from day one, even the smallest of a bill gets into your books. So going back to it, to record them. Like I said, there are different ways in which you can record an expense. Number one, you could manually enter it. You could go into the respective page, that field, say report expense, record expense, add expense, whichever one. And then you add in the date, the description, the amount, including taxes, excluding taxes, respectively. Who was it paid to? What was the method of payment? What was the reference number? Choosing them appropriately and adding. This is a little old school method, time consuming, but yes, if some people like to do it, it is what it is. And then came into picture this importing your bank statement in CSV form, where you take your bank statement, but the online version, remember the CSV, and then you upload it into your software, and then you are able to report these expenses. The good thing is that date and some particulars, amount with taxes, and the method of payment gets automatically entered. You just have to take a brief look at it and ensure everything is in place. And then if you need to add one or two information, you could do that appropriately. And then came into picture, which is the most recent version, is called as Bank Connect. Allows you to connect the software with your bank, especially for general and business credit card, to add and report your expenses. Tons of these don't have time, including your bank transfers, your office expenses, capital withdrawings, and more. So these Connect Bank will allow you to be connected always, provided you don't have a two-factor authentication. Then you would be able to just simply take action, report these expenses, and move on. You don't even have to download the report from your bank, then upload it. So even more an advanced version, hassle-free, do it from anywhere, anytime, and by whoever has access to it, right? Like your bookkeeper or your assistant or yourself, whoever has access. I really believe this is such a game changer for people who are, uh, I can't say I can't say laid back, but who are not very keen on adding their expenses into their books of accounts. This is really cool because it does 20% of your work and only expects you to do maybe 20-30%. Even that, just to make sure everything is good and add it in. So that's exactly how bank imports work. I will again walk you all through it. Now, once you're done with adding all your office expenses, this is how your reports go. Your office expense disbursements, your journals, your ledgers, your profit and loss, expense book, fee book, all your statements, HST, PST, GST, taxes, and all the reports. This is how it looks. Like I said, the recovery of expense field that you can see under P&L or your expense and income statement or your revenue report. This is how it looks, right? It's very evident that your total revenue minus your expenses gives you the profit, and it's easier for you to determine where you stand and all of that. Okay, I'm having quite a bit of people saying this phone is getting out. It's just viewer 27. I'm sorry, viewer 27. If you don't mind, can you please send me a message quickly? I can try to help. I can see so many other people in there. I hope people are not having a similar issue hearing me. Please use the phone audio and it will be better. And please start asking any questions you may have. I can see a lot of you who are regular attendees. Really appreciate being here on a Friday afternoon. It means a lot for us to see you support us. I hope you're benefiting. And, any questions, I would really encourage. We've just moved from type of expenses. Of expenses was discussed like 10 minutes ago. Currently, we're in fact moving on to expense analytics. We will be moving on to software in less than 5 minutes. So you're going to probably see me skip a few slides. Okay, so it could be the headphones. Let me try this. You're right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Give me a second. No, I think they're meaning my headphones. Give me a second. Okay, is it better now? On the presenter side, is it better now? I'm off my headphones. It could be my headphones. Oh my God. I'm so sorry to put you through this. I'm so sorry. It's probably my headphones. I think it's time to change one. All right. So sorry about that. I'm sure I didn't think of it at all. I'm so sorry. I will make sure that I compensate for this by sending you the recording as soon as I'm done with it today. Thank you so much for paying so much attention. Maybe I should have thought of it earlier. Thank you. Sorry again. All right. So just for the sake of year 27, I'm just going to quickly recap. I was just saying how we manage different types of expenses. When it comes to an office expenses, each office would have their different type of expenses. Some would have membership fee. I mean, most of you would have membership fees, and then some would have their insurance liability. Some would have their rent, their utilities, bank fee, all of these expenses. I always like to create categories for them, make sure they're under the respective categories. Why? I'm just quickly going to show you here. When I create categories, it's easier for me to understand how my expenses get split, how are they, understand the ratio of their on a monthly, quarterly, yearly basis, understand the health of business better. I feel when you're more organized, especially with the expense part, it's definitely going to help you in the long run. I know we always focus on income and other trust-related things, but for a change, let's talk about how general really helps you being on top of your stuff, right? So office expenses, definitely I would recommend you to avoid all of this hassle to use the Bank Connect feature. This will really help you to get to a point where, all these fields here that even has the reference numbers, that has the taxes information, that has the dates and everything so appropriate. That's what gets converted into these analytics as reports, shows you how much was made in each category, how much of expense was made under each category, what expenses that you don't want to do in future, you want to optimize, you want to reduce. You can really go over these grid charts, pie diagrams. You have so much that you can really witness from here. All right. So that's probably it. I know this is the benefits that I always recommend people when they are using a software. Make sure you use a software. First of all, having a software definitely helps you to record events as you go, right? Like as you need then and there, your financial institution records and your reports are matching close possible, and then you're able to reconcile pretty simple, maintain the books, compliance, ease of use, analytics, whatnot. So again, if you're a uLaw user, great. Thank you for using uLaw. If you're not one, you really need to sign up to understand how all this works, makes your life simpler. And, it's really, really easier for you to use as you progress. And here we are. I'd like to show you all how this works. And you have all your needs fulfilled in terms of your office expense management, your disbursement management right here. So when you always start, definitely make sure that you start off with adding your contacts, then do your due diligence, compliances, and then proceed with opening a new file. Then once you open the file, obviously you're going to make sure that your expense management is entered in here. All your disbursements comes under the matter. Anything that is not your disbursement related, which is your office expenses, you can either connect your bank or you can use I think currently my general account is connected. So let me first walk you through the matters. And once I'm done, I'll walk you through the other part, office expenses. Yes. Okay. Let's say you add a new disbursement. This time, I'm going to first quickly add a retainer. Let's say we have a new retainer in here. Retainer. Or I want to put all the 500 in one matter. Okay, not to confuse. So let's just keep it at this and apply. So I have a bit of amount sitting in my trust account. I want to first disperse to make the court filing fee. Let's say I have a filing fee. You're doing an online payment or a check, depending upon your preference. Okay. Obviously, you have to do an electronic trust transfer. So once you're done with that, let's say the next disbursement, you're doing it from general. Now, many times we have confusion as to which option is better to use for disbursements. Now, very simple, you have two heads here. If you withdraw from trust, you pay it from trust. It's on the top, paid from trust. If it's from general, one of the following below. Now, when you pay disbursements from general cash other accounts, it's right here. This is the most safest option. You know that, let's say you're using it for photocopies or photocopies and admin. And then let's say you're charging your client $40 plus taxes, but you, on the other hand, incurred only 20 plus taxes. This is probably what the bank charged you. Go back in there, report saying was paid to RBC, was a direct debit. If you have a reference number, otherwise CNA or something, secret. Now, why I always recommend my clients to use this, when you're at doubt, it's better to use this than the actuals. Because paid disbursements from general, this is also paid disbursements from general. But this has cash and other accounts, which means you can use owner's pocket, you can use other accounts such as your business credit card, you can use accounts payable, pay later, use the vendor and do such things. So safest option to use under general is the top one, right below that. Then pay disbursements from general. Again, in the box, you can see actuals, mileages, units. So when it's actuals, you know it's an actual amount that you spent and you're charging the same. Or you're using it for mileage purpose, or you're using it for units, which is photocopies and stuff. Depends on billable, then it's actuals. You don't even see a portion below that says that, okay, so something like this. You're doing the same filing fee. You don't have a trust, okay? You're doing it from general. It's an actual, 200, tax exempt. There's no box below. It's just one thing. Tell us you use general or business credit card or own pocket. There's no portion to report saying this is a different amount. No, because it's billable and it's actual. So I'm going to say maybe this is probably called as court fee. Maybe I paid the court fee from my general account, paid to courthouse, check, print a check, save. Download a check. I'll go back in. I just wanted to show you the same line item, but using mileages or using unit rate or travel time. Just look at it. This time you can report a different expense amount. Let's say you are using mileage for gas. Okay. Mileage, let's say 10 kilometers, so and so, but you expended maybe less than $1, or you're not even reporting an expense. Let's say you didn't expend anything for this particular amount. You had your gas for the entire week and then you did a quick travel. So if you don't check box or if you don't click on this check box, you're not reporting any expense. Then leave it as is. You won't see that $4 showing up there. Now you go back in there, let's say add new disbursement, and then if you want to do, what's the difference between this and this? Like miscellaneous expense doesn't go under any respective subledgers. It's just called as miscellaneous, and that's how it is. Oh no, it's not at my end. It's definitely not at my end right now. If it says that, then it's your internet. If it says that this call is being recorded consecutively, then it's something you have to check your internet for, which means you're kicked out of the meeting and brought back in. That's on your own. Like, how do I say? Maybe your connection is not stable. Can you try it once more? I have the meeting unlocked, so you can always leave and join back in. Just try one time. Anyway, we only left with the last 15 minutes, and I'm going to download a few reports and then open the floor. But don't worry, I'm going to send you this recording, viewer 27. I have your email ID. I'll send you this recording to make sure that everything is intact. Don't worry. Yeah, this is at your end. Unfortunately, it's the internet. Sorry about that. All right, now talking about paying a third-party consultancy, this is mostly when you have hired someone from outside, let's say a translator or someone, and then you want to charge your client a different amount, and then you got charged a different amount. Obviously, there's a profit margin here, but it goes into the category says consultancy, and it goes into your books of accounts, reports it appropriately, and then, right? You can choose the method of payment. Say you paid using general account, you paid using email transfer, right? Interact payment, whatever. You have the reference number. You did it from general account. Make sure to save. Now this is so far with the expenses. And you all know prepayment to disbursement is mostly when you are a real estate or into some other nature of practice that requires you to make a payment in advance and you remove from the block fee that you made to the vendor. So mostly I've seen this. This is the feature that rather option that you use for TerraView charges, TerraNet charges, LDD payments, and such things. Mostly this is used by real estate people. Now, about office expense, that was about disbursement. I will definitely draw an invoice to show you all how it looks in the meantime. See, I'm raising an invoice only for disbursements. I didn't bother about anything else. Just doing it solely for disbursements, right? While that happens, let's just go into accounts. I think my general bank account is connected. So let's see if it works. If not, I have to reconnect. And so that's what that happens whenever we have a two-factor authentication. Let me try in front of all of you. I hope I'm able to connect to the bank. Let's say, let's try to reconnect. Okay. Click on the bank connect button. You know what? The tricky part is I should be remembering this password. Let's see. Let's try our luck. There you go. I will remember it. Oh, goodness. If it doesn't work, unfortunately, I'm so sorry. It's probably that I'm not able to show you all today. Goodness. I'm so sorry about that part. Mm, Let me try one last time. No, I'm unfortunately so sorry about this. Maybe in the past recordings you'll be able to see, but the Bank Connect feature is so simple. It saves you a lot of time. Uh, you just have to click on import action and then select either the general or bank business credit card and then connect the bank and all the options would drop down. So that would help you to add in expenses quickly. But for the sake of it, right now, I just want to showcase to all of you how this Law Society monthly fee looks like. So let's say I am clicking on the date. Let's say I paid this on 2nd. I am paying my membership fee. It was $200. Taxes gets calculated. Then what's the method of payment? This in-track payment or pre-authorized debit. And then you have the reference number submitted. That's right. I have a very nice question from you at 34. Is it safe to say that anytime you pay for anything from your own pocket, which is called as owner's pocket account for a client's matter, it should be recorded as paid disbursement from general cash other accounts? That's right. But make sure that you click on and enter both this one, the top portion and the bottom portion. Click on cash, say owner's pocket. So it goes into your owner's pocket. And let's say once every month you go into owner's pocket and see what's in there and then pay yourself. That's how you do it. All right. Time to download the statements, reports rather, to show you all how everything looks. Now let's do let's do a general disbursement journal. Let's do expense book. I want to show you the difference between both. And then let's do a client trust payments. This will show the $200 we took out for the filing fee. There you go. And then, yeah, those are the payments part. Yeah. Let's also see if there's anything else I've done the expense book. I also want to see all the method of payments if I've done everything appropriately. There you go. Anything that needs to have owner's pocket as method of payment, it would have shown, but I didn't record today with any owner's pocket method of payment. Very clearly here it shows you the client's trust disbursement. Only this was made out of trust. It was an electronic fund transfer, EFT, paid to courthouse, the file details. It was a disbursement payout of trust, was for the filing fee, the amount, and everything else. Now, if you go into expense book will show you all your expenses from general account. Now, it didn't show the fee that we did for membership because I only downloaded for today. So let me show you the expense book for the date. 2nd. I think I recorded it on 2nd, just to show you all how it looks. I could have done the entire month, but anyway, I wanted to show in specific. I did enter the membership fee as description. The expenses here has the taxes and all. Yeah. And then disbursement journal shows exactly how much of it was disbursements, client disbursements, reference numbers, and all. All right, that's probably what I wanted to showcase to all of you today. Any questions, you're welcome to start using the chat window. I will start entering the important links, especially topic for today's session with the attendance link. I request everyone to please use the chat window. Okay, I also have the topic name is Expense Management 101. It is accredited for 1 hour of professionalism CPD credits. I am sharing that over here. Please make a note. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your presence. I do have some useful links. I'm going to be sharing that as well. If you're not a uLaw user, please register for the free trial. If you're a uLaw user being with us for so long, please show us some support by following us on our social media like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Follow our YouTube channel too. Has a lot of tons of videos that would really help you to learn the software at its best. Sharing the links here. I also would like to take this opportunity to announce that we are hosting another in-person seminar. It's called uLaw Connect CPD. uLaw Connect was launched 2025 December. We had a few folks joining us in GTA region. This is again happening in GTA region. It's happening actually the week of Women's Day or right after that. I think if I'm not wrong, March 13th, we have the emails and the promotions, the registration forms circulating starting Monday. So people who are interested, it's happening in Toronto, so people who are interested, please do register for it. It's going to be 2 hours of CPD with a brand new topic on KPI and financial statements, etc. And we also have a little health clinic where we are going to have a lot of our support staff in person helping you on your questions regarding your annual report filing. So as you all know, annual report filing deadline is coming soon. We have only 5 to 6 weeks, so you can very well make the best use of this networking session too. It's happening on March 13th. Looks like we have the registration forms out already, so please do register and save your spot. We have very limited spot as we couldn't get a bigger hall. So we use the dates to match, but it'll be really nice. Thank you. I'm going to share the registration link here as well for all of you. It's March the 13th. That's right. The name of CPD is Expense Management. 13. Just for the sake of saving time for the ones viewing it later, I'm going to stop the webinar, but I'm going to be hanging in here for another couple of minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to use the chat window. Thank you so much, everyone, and talk to you all soon.